Hey, stick with us versus Herd. Today we're going to be reviewing the Robinhood and Webull apps. As you know, as many people know, that they both offer commission-free trading, and Robinhood is the one that kicked off the brokerage wars and started, tearing them apart, and then they started merging, and Schwab and TD Ameritrade, and people were getting bought up because they were before Robinhood, they were charging like $10 to $20 per trade. You had a you could do it on your computer, you could call it in, and Robinhood really leveled the playing field for brokerages. Now, there's a lot of shady things that Robinhood has done in the back end with market makers and Citadel and all that, which is not good, which is frowned upon. But if you look at commissions, they have brought commission-free trading to stocks and options and now crypto, and same with Webull. And the Webull is basically born from a competitor for Robinhood. However, please note that Webull is a Chinese competitor. They may have a headquarters here in New York, but they are owned by a Chinese parent company. So just be aware of that as we're kind of going through that. Some people may care about that, some people may not, but I want to put full disclosure in there as well. Now, going into some of the features, Robinhood does have a Android and iOS app. They don't have a desktop app. They do have the desktop version, which we'll get into here in a second. So they don't have full flexibility. They don't have compared to some of the Tastyworks, TD Ameritrade, they don't actually have a native desktop app. I will say that as a drawdown, where Webull does. They even have full Mac support, Windows support, Linux support even, and then they also have browser, Android, and iOS. So I say from a development standpoint, Webull wins. From a more technical level, they're able to get onto more platforms. However, they do have to maintain more platforms. So, I don't know if that brings down the quality at all. But I've used Webull desktop. I've used Webull apps. I've used also Robinhood apps, and I used to enjoy the Robinhood iPad app, but they got rid of that. As you can see here, it's for iPhone, iPhone and Apple Watch only. So what people like, if you're just starting out. If you're just starting out and you're like, hey, I just want to buy some stocks. I just want to go on there. I want to push the buy button. I want to buy one share Apple. I'm good. Then Robinhood's probably the best place to get started. Because when we get up to Webull, I'm going to show you here in a second. It gets a little bit more technical. When it comes down to interface, Robinhood is very, very, very basic. It is bringing in people that have never traded before, don't really know what they're looking at, and they don't really require more than that. They just want to be like, okay, I'm going to go on to Apple right now, and you could do the same. I'm using desktop for an instance, but you could do the same thing on your phone as well. Same exact interface for the most part. I can go in here and say, hey, I want to buy Apple. You can either buy fractional shares or you could buy just shares outright. So if I say I want to buy one share Apple, review order, push buy, I now own one share Apple. Very, very simple. The interface isn't confusing. There isn't any more steps after you hit review order. You say, hey, do I want to do this? And then basically hit submit, and that's it. You put your order out there. This, what I don't like, they do default to a market order here. So I don't like that, but you do have to select if you want a limit order, if you want to get it for, if you go to limit order and you say, I want it exactly for $130. I don't want to pay $136.42. I want to make sure that I get it for $130. You could buy one share for $130 when it comes to that price, if it comes to that price. So, there's a lot of things by default, it goes by market order, which means if you're trading something like Apple, probably not going to have a problem. But if you're trading things that are like penny stocks, you're probably going to have a problem with fills. That's all I'm going to say. If you're starting out and just trading and you want to figure out how to trade, you want to invest, pick liquid stocks like Apple, Tesla. Not like penny stocks. You're gonna have a rough time. On the option side of things, you don't have a traditional interface, which Personally, I prefer more of the traditional interface. Robinhood was late to the game when it came to options. They did add on options a few years after they actually launched. But this is not the traditional interface. I don't enjoy trading options on here. You go to buy or sell, call or put. They don't allow you to see both at the same time, which I'll show you in Robinhood they actually do. So, that's one thing I just really don't like. Going into the charting here, you do have something called the advanced, where they do give you a little bit of structure, and they do give you a little bit of, some indicators that you can add here, but it is very, 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 very basic. You can pick if you want, candlesticks or a line chart. You can, basically, it's okay. You can't really do a whole lot. You can look at this chart. You can show extended hours. You can't change like the time frames. You can't, it is what it is, and that's one thing that I don't like. You can add indicators, hide indicators, and you're basically stuck with like moving averages, 10-day, 50-day, 200-day, RSI, MACD. They also have in here VWAP. If you want to add that in there, it's pretty popular. So you could do that, but I mean, it's very static, not very fluid. It's not something that I would actively trade on. Like if I'm an active trader, I wouldn't trade on Robinhood. If I'm a casual trader, then sure, I want to buy something, hold a few days, fine. That's fine. Get your feet wet, get you in the game, get you understanding how this market works. Robinhood is the one for you. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more and you don't want to upgrade to the TD Ameritrades, don't want to upgrade to the Tastyworks, and you don't want to pay for commissions, I mean, Webull's going to be, your best bet, because I feel like for the free app, it's the most technical, and it does what you want it to do. You have your watch list here. Very nice. Stocks. These are stocks from your watch list. You could also look up different stocks as well up in here. And I'm just going to go into, let's say, SPY, right? If I go into SPY, I could easily change, what time frame I'm looking at here. I could easily go in and put on different indicators. I could easily, change my line styles. You have a flexibility of things that you can go, that you have here. Indicators, like I said again, you could easily change these. They have, they don't have like a ton either, but they do have a lot more technical indicators, and then they do have something called technical, technical signals that you can learn about here. And I like that they're trying to put a little bit of the education piece in there. But from a if you're trading options or buying a stock, like from buying a stock here, as you can see here, here's the trade screen here. It is a little bit more complex. They do default to limit versus market, unlike Robinhood. Robinhood just puts you right into the market order, like bing bang boom, and they want to get you in there. Webull, they want you to think a little bit about it. What price do you want to pay? And this I think is a very important. As a trader, as an investor, you don't want to just be like, I want to buy whatever price I want to get. I want to when I make a purchase, I want to be deliberate, and I want to get a certain price. And that's the way that I trade, and that's the way you can trade it on Robinhood as well. But by default, they're coming in here with the limit order versus Robinhood came in with the market order. You can come in here and you could change. I just want to buy one share of SPY, and then I just hit buy. And if I want to do a market order, save the hassle of figuring out what the price is, market order, hit buy as well. So you could do the exact same thing that you can do on Robinhood, you could do on Webull, but the interface is going to be a little bit more technical, a little bit more complex, and there's a lot more to look at. But I mean, I do like you can stretch this out. You could even come up in here and you can create a new window. You can clone this window here. You could say, hey, I like this view. I want to do another window so I can if I have multiple monitors, I could look up, So I would say, like, from a technical perspective, you could probably replace your desktop app from Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade. And I do think that this definitely does, charts way better than like Tastyworks, which is crazy. I mean, Tastyworks I use for my options trading execution. I do my charting on Thinkorswim, but for free commissions, if I was going to do free commissions only, I would probably do Webull because this fits my style exactly. And if you guys want to sign up for Webull, there's a link below. You get some free stocks if you sign up as well. But going into the options here, what I like is this is a very, very traditional way of looking at options here. We'll go into some different dates. So you have like, a regular table here. You could select which date you want. You could easily see whatever date that you want to see. When you drop it down, we can easily tell, like these are calls and these are puts. It says it right here, calls, and these are puts. And this is exactly the same way that you show up on any other platform. Like I said, Tastyworks, Thinkorswim, Fidelity, Chase. I mean, any platform that you trade options on, I mean, it's looking great. This is exactly what you expect. This is what I learned on. And then when the way that Robinhood does it really hurts my brain. You'll make it work. You can figure it out, but it doesn't come as natural if you learned on a platform, like this. Looking up, let's say, look up Apple stock. Okay, go into Apple. They also have, I like that everything's in the same place. You have news. You all have all their financials. This is very nice. There's a lot of platforms that don't actually include all this information, income statement, balance sheet, if you're interested into really diving deep into the business. What the analysts are doing, order flow for the day. This is crazy. Corporate actions, if any, releases, and then the profile of it. But this is where I kind of like where they shine here is, at a glance, you can see, okay, how are stocks doing in the rest of the world right now? What are the latest news? What are the 52-week highs? They have these different filters. I mean, it's great. This is definitely like a platform that I would use if I was trading on a free commission level, which, I'm not. But from a screener standpoint, easily. And then they also allow, you can, from a screener standpoint, you can go in here and, try to find a stock that you're looking for. And then they also do, what's nice is they'll also allow paper trading, which Robinhood does not. So Robinhood doesn't allow paper trading, but Webull does, which I think is great if you're just starting out and you want to get your feet wet. Paper trade. Try to figure out what your process is, so you could figure out where basically what your edge is, what your process is. When you're trading, it's all about process, having a repeatable process that you stick to, so that way you can be disciplined, you continue to make profits. So based on my recap here, Robinhood still has a way to go. Webull looks like a great app. They have a lot of flexibility, allowing you to, customize your screens and all that. However, again, if you're not feeling comfortable, they are FDIC insured, but, if you're not feeling comfortable with, being foreign owned, just stick with the US based Robinhood. So that's my review here of Robinhood versus Webull. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us for a cert.